So let's just go ahead and get ourselves prepared for another little game right here. Hope you guys are ready for some late night Dota. Because goddamn, it's late. Alright, into it we go. So we've got Wolf and Mindseyes going up against each other for the KOD League 2017. Gonna go ahead and start out with a banning stage right away. Of course, it's Dota. Please excuse me, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'll keep making that excuse because it is still true. Wolf apparently using some ringers, stand-ins as you can see, so that's something I guess to keep in mind. Spirit Breaker being banned out right away, that is an interesting choice. Definitely not a hero we see banned out first very often, although a very powerful hero given the right circumstances, and does seem like a respect ban, right? Like, I think this is just something where Mindseyes knows about Wolf and they know what they like to do, and maybe they like to use Spirit Breaker a lot. So it's just saying, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and respect that, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the guy. Nukes coming out, maybe they want to go for an Invoker. Nukes generally deals really well with Invokers, so it's a nice pick to, you know, disable that option, I suppose. We've got Necrophos and Venomancer. So far, nothing too crazy here. The green boys being banned out in the second choice, and into the picking stage we go. Night Stalker first pick, nothing crazy. Strong, solid hero, allows for early aggression, allows for some really nice, strong power plays. Now, I believe these are tiebreaker games, which actually means that if Wolf wins, we don't need to play a third game because Mindseyes is out. Unless there's only one person that proceeds. In that case, then that doesn't mean that at all. But anyway, Winter Wyvern and Underlord being picked up. Seems these teams really like that Underlord. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I love Underlord. That hero is so strong, so powerful. With Winter Wyvern in the back, that already tells me that there's gonna be some healing, there's gonna be some protection, it's gonna be a tanky team, you know. Just like in the last match, we saw Underlord just being the frontliner, just being in the middle of everything, being tanky, completely blocking the way for Mindseyes. And you know, maybe they want to consider going for something like an Ancient Apparition. Maybe a Husker, I don't know. Husker probably not a great choice. I'm just saying, we're looking for somebody that allows them to break through a tank. And we've got the Necrophos already being banned out, which is definitely a hero that falls into that category. So, you know, maybe it's something worth considering. Earthshaker being banned out now. We're gonna go into the second banning stage after Shadow Shaman comes out for Mindseyes. Shadow Shaman, a strong hero overall, definitely a very snowbally and aggressive hero, given the right circumstances. So this kind of tells me that Mindseyes does want to be aggressive. You know, Night Stalker and Shadow Shaman definitely allows them to do that. They can go for those big ultimate pushes, they can go for some early ganks with the shackles, and of course Night Stalker flying around like crazy. Nature's Prophet being banned out. That's actually interesting too. Nature's Prophet, not a hero we see too much of these days, but Nature's Prophet has one niche that he feels better than anybody else, and that is the ability to gank, to push anywhere, right? And I guess gank everywhere. He's just everywhere, that's his thing, he's everywhere. Split pushing, you know, backdooring, you know. That kind of thing doesn't work too well if you plan on deathballing your opponent. Oh wait. This is frustrating. Please excuse me. It is very late. That kind of thing doesn't work out for you if your opponent is doing it. That is what I was trying to say. So you want to go ahead and get rid of that hero if you're actually looking to deathball a lot, right? Because he is very much somebody that can simply say, okay, you guys want to just like push with 5 heroes, but I'm going to be on the other end of the map and I'll just be ready whenever you guys decide to actually initiate. In the meantime, I'm getting your towers and getting my team an advantage and letting us come back into this game. Ursa being banned out, and Juggernaut for Mindseyes. Juggernaut I actually found an interesting ban. Might be because of the last game. They saw the effectiveness of the Juggernaut healing ward with the Underlord, just keeping them going forever. So making sure that, you know what, we don't want to risk it. Also works well against Night Stalker, works great against Shadow Shaman, you know. You don't want to have that magic immunity going on. Talking about magic immunity, Lifestealer is still in the pool. Sadly, Wolf currently does not have a good carrier for the Lifestealer. And usually you would like to have one of them by now if you're going for the Lifestealer strat. Of course, Storm Spirit could still be an option, right? Clockwork is also still definitely a possibility. So we'll have to wait and see what they actually decide to go for. Underlord will likely be the offlane for Wolf. Very likely will be the offlane for Wolf. But for now, there's definitely different possibilities as well, right? On the other side, Shadow Shaman, the safe lane support, and the Night Stalker, the roaming support, pretty much a guarantee, I would say. Like, that seems to be the safe call there, right? There's really no reason to switch that up. Visage coming out for Wolf, so that will likely be the roaming support. That's actually an interesting team composition they have there. Visage and Winter Wyvern are both heroes I would put as static supports. So picking them both up is 10 seconds to go. Risky, I would say. Could even be a mid Visage. I mean, it's kind of a thing. It's not super amazing, but it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. Probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. It really depends on how confident Wolf is. Really depends on how much they're feeling themselves. Going into the third pick for Mindseyes here. They already have a strong ganking duo, a strong supporting duo. I think now they want to think about what they want to protect and how aggressive they want to go with this. They have the option of going for something a bit more conservative, something a little bit slower. Like, for example, a Slug, a Phantom Lancer, although Phantom Lancer isn't that popular these days. Just a general carry that doesn't instantly, want to fight and go crazy. Could also be a bit more aggressive, right? Could go for a more neutral pick with something like a Phantom Assassin. There are a lot of possibilities here. Gonna pick up the mid first, grabbing the puck. That tells me, again, probably gonna be a more aggressive strategy, right? Puck is definitely a hero that benefits from having early fights. He does really well in that. Bristleback coming out for Wolf, and that worries me. That is a smart pickup. Lots of healing already available with the Winter Wyvern. Underlord already makes dealing damage so difficult. And then Bristleback, that's a tanky lineup. Mindseyes doesn't really have a space for an Ancient Apparition. They could still do it. They could. Night Stalker goes into the off lane. And then Ancient Apparition. Maybe. A possibility, that's for sure, but not very likely. We'll see what Wolf bans out here. The most likely thing is going to be an offlaner. Right, that they want to ban out an offlane. But again, maybe they want to go on the safe side there and just get rid of the big Ice Blast. Bristleback is a really cool pickup here. Makes Wolf so tanky, right? Visage is difficult to kill. Underlord is difficult to kill. Winter Wyvern, not necessarily difficult to kill, but has lots of tools of just that allow her to just stay in the back and continue keeping her team alive. I wonder if Wolf is gonna fully commit down that path and pick up a mid that can maybe even, supplement that a little bit more. Although I would probably expect more something along the lines of an Invoker, more of a big core carry. Something I would love to see actually is a Death Prophet here. I think Death Prophet would fit very nicely into that lineup. You've got so much sustain, so much tankiness, right? Putting a strong hero that really benefits from that. A hero that can push, which is something Wolf is still lacking. The Visage is definitely available, but other than that, they don't have crazy pushing potential. So, that's something to keep in mind there. I think that would work pretty well. Enigma will be banned out by Wolf. Mindseyes, I'm not sure if that's something they had in mind here, but hey, Death Prophet will be the choice though, so they see that one as well. Yeah, Death Prophet definitely fits in rather nicely, I think, if we look at these lineups. Mindseyes now thinking about their last pick. They do have quite a bit of time. Lifestealer is definitely something worth considering. Does well against, just general magic and such. But he also has the advantage of having a percentage-based ability that just deals damage based on how much HP you have. Bristleback and Underlord will not be appreciating that additional damage output. Also likes to go for Desolator. You do have good vehicles for him. You've got the Night Stalker, which is not optimal, but you do have Puck, and Puck is great. Admittedly, Sven is already picked up, and what am I talking about? That's not what they're looking for at all. They're looking for an offlane. Well, honestly, there's still possible that they go for Lifestealer, but not very likely. They're probably gonna be grabbing an offlane. Lifestealer's a good pick, though. I'm standing by that. Hope be a strong pick here, but I already got the Sven. And the Sven makes sense too, you know. Sven just does like massive damage on each attack. Well, sorry to all the viewers again. This was a very spontaneous decision, and it's late. Maybe we'll be taking it a bit more easy. And we'll just relax and take a chill. We'll just relax and take a chill. Lena coming out. I like that. That is a great choice. Tricking Wolf into thinking that Puck will be going mid. He's not. He's an offlaner. Sven safe lane. Lena into the mid. Lena does massive damage. Massive burst damage, right? Sven, similar style. It seems like Mindseyes just saying, you guys want to be tanky? Fuck it. We'll deal more damage, right? We'll deal so much damage. There's no way you can possibly tank it. And that is a nice decision. That is very cool to see here. I'm excited for that. Now, it's also a very risky decision, right? They need their cores to do well, and Razor coming out. Razor, again, very tanky, difficult to kill. And that's also the push they needed. Razor is very similar to a Death Prophet in that regard. I wouldn't be too surprised to see an Aghanims on this Razor. I think that would actually work out really well here. But as I was saying, the Radiant side here, Mindseyes, really needs their cores to do well, right? That Sven and that Lena need to be doing well. If they aren't doing well, they'll just be in a very difficult situation. If those guys do well, they very well can do enough damage to just break through Wolves' defenses, right? They can just simply tear through anything they've got. But if they aren't doing well, then they just don't have enough damage, and they don't have the survivability, they don't have the counters, they just have this brute force approach to this situation, and it can work, but it needs to work on the first attempt, right? It needs to immediately work. If it doesn't work immediately, they'll be in a very bad position. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out. I'm very excited to see it. It's definitely gonna be interesting. So we've got Onion playing the Night Stalker here, Fussy Sloth on the Lena, Oscar on the Puck going into the offlane. We've got Formless on the Sven, and Baba Ganoush on the Shadow Shaman already putting down his ward. Just barely out of range of the tower, of course, gaining as much vision on the Radiant side as he possibly can. We have the Underlord being played by KGB going into the offlane, also running in to put down his ward. Now, this is usually the warding fight, right? You do this early ward, you TP in to scout out where KGB is going to put his own ward. Once you know that, you can go ahead and just get rid of it, which is generally a very good starting point, a great position to be in. He just puts it into his backpack. Is that the cheeky play? Oh my god. Oh my, that is so beautiful. He knows where they warded. Did you guys see that? I don't know if you like, oh, that is such a cool play. He put it into his backpack, walked through the ward, gave them a tiny bit of vision, a small moment, trying to trick them into thinking he put down the ward. Now put it out of his backpack and is about to place it where he wanted to place it originally. I'm pretty sure that was intended to trick the Shadow Shaman into believing that he put down the ward somewhere else, but didn't actually do it. So that is very interesting. I wonder if that's what he was going for. Maybe he was just being, you know, a little bit funny with his inventory, but I see no other reason why you would want to pull something like that. We've got MJW in the mid lane on that Razor. Already got himself his healing potion coming in. We have got Mario on the Winter Wyvern. We've got Mr. Popo playing the Visage, the packing order, my friends, the packing order. And then we've got on the Bristleback in the top lane, currently just spamming his quill sprays as you would expect. Puck, kind of relaxing, gonna rush an early magic wand, which is obviously a fantastic choice. Mid lane, we already got a little bit of a roam coming in. We've got the Winter Wyvern slowing down the Lina, but that's just not enough damage, not enough slow. But nonetheless, it does actually hurt quite a bit. You gotta keep in mind that Winter Wyvern Arctic Burn is definitely an impactful ability just based on its like early levels as well. Like you just always do the same amount of damage with that spell, right? The health burn is static, so it is just a strong ability in general. They're gonna go for this Underlord. Shackles coming out. Nice, nice. Catching him before he manages to cast his Q. It does come out, but a little bit too late. It is really one of the main defenses an Underlord has, apart from just being really tanky. That Q, right? It makes it so the team doesn't really want to run into that. It's too much damage output. But we did not see that right here, and he ends up going down. Oscar now trapped out. Actually, kind of a difficult situation to be in, Mr. Popo. Even sitting over here and messing with him, but not really willing to commit to anything. And for now, he'll just let him get away. Seems reasonable. Puck was pretty much safe. And yeah, this is what I addressed earlier. With this Winter Wyvern and Visage lane, or with this Winter Wyvern and Visage setup, they actually have just 2 static supports, right? This is a tri-lane. This is something we haven't seen too much of in the recent tournament scene, because people really like to have that roaming support. They like to have somebody that just runs around, gets bounty runes, and goes ahead and just like ganks people constantly. Like this Night Stalker, for example, who is currently running around with an invisibility. Nonetheless, this is just a safe lane with 2 supports, something we don't see too much. Wolf deciding to go for the old school style here. In the meantime, we've got a gank into the mid lane. Oh, Razor. What are you doing, my friend? What are you doing? He thinks he's safe, activates the healing self, and then Onion just puts him out of his misery. Very, very unfortunate for him right there, but that was just greedy. You can't go in like that, not this early on. If you don't have vision on enemy supports, you're just risking your life. And you should know that. You should know better than that. Shows a certain level of confidence too, and you can see, yes, MJW is definitely winning this lane. He is ahead in terms of gold. He's ahead in terms of, well, not sure if he's ahead in terms of experience at this point because of that death, but yes, even a little bit there. His last hits are simply looking a bit better. So that's always, you know, at least a little bit of something. But yeah, usually players that go for that kind of greed are very confident in their ability to win the matchup. Otherwise, you don't do that, right? If you know that that is probably going to result in your death just because you respect your opponent enough to assume that, then you don't go for that kind of play. Onion roaming around finds Mr. Popo, or Mr. Popo is being found by Onion. Not quite sure who it is, but either way, not too much is going to come from it from now. But the first night, the Night Stalker is now ready, and he starts stalking, but actually it's just going to be forced away. Flies over the pit and goes back to his shrine. It's not quite active yet, but maybe he's going to wait. Maybe he's just going to go and grab the bounty rune and go home. For now, he has decided that, sadly, I can't use the first moments of the night. Lina goes ahead and just gets herself some more last hits. This mid lane is pretty much as you would expect. I gotta admit, I thought that Lina was gonna do a little bit better than she is doing. This is very much a matchup that Razor can dominate in, right? I feel like Razor is actually one of those heroes that can win any lane. He's just so strong with that static link. It is such an impactful ability. And currently he's just running this Lina over. Oh, actually, Onion finds the Underlord. The Sven is around as well. Do they have that Stormbolt? Yes, they do. KGB taking a lot of damage. He tries to protect himself, but it's just not enough. Formless ends up taking the kill. The level 5 Sven coming in from the sidelines. Only got 1 point into the Stormhammer, which is why I didn't do too much damage, but doesn't matter. With an Underlord that low, that is just still going to be enough. Mario flying around in the air, being a little bit cheeky. I'm not sure that is a good idea, but it seems he's not going to be punished for it. Dropping really low. The shrine is active, so Fussy Sloth can activate it if he chooses to. And yes, he will. Just continues to heal up his team really quick. And, yeah. Alright. We've got Mr. Popo still sitting in lane, as you would expect. Racer being chased down, going in for another deep play. Sadly, Fuzzy Sloth not on point with those light strikes. That was a little bit off target, and yet again, MJW will end up being just fine. This is very much unfortunate. I mean, you gotta be a little bit more accurate with those. In the meantime, KGB will go down to Sven. An important thing to keep in mind about this bottom lane, Sven doesn't actually have high levels of Stormhammer, but as you may have noticed, the Underlord is always on low HP. And that is actually just the cleave. I mean, it's got a very big AoE. Sven's cleave, the Great Cleave, is very difficult to avoid if you are made a hero on lane. Right, so you'll see once the Underlord comes back in here. And actually, first we got a bit of an encounter. They're going for the Visage. The Shackles come out. The nuke even, it does a lot of damage at this level. And they go ahead and get that kill. Baba Ganoush will probably pay for it. Formless now trying to run down the Underlord. But he does not have enough damage. He's just not able to turn that around with a higher level of Stormbolt. Maybe, but as is, not quite. But yeah, you can see the cleave here. You see how far back the Underlord is? Like, he needs to be that far away because else he's just going to be taking damage. And here, just one hit, it hurts. And it adds up. It does add up very, very quickly. That's how Formless is able to get these solo kills, right? Underlord constantly taking damage. It also helps with farming, which is fantastic, right? So this is actually a dream situation for Sven. He's able to completely skip the Stormhammer, maximize his farming ability, and still have a good lane. Absolutely great for him. They go ahead and slow him down. The double slow connects. Mr. Popo now running him down as well, but Formless will be able to retreat to the tower. That was a lot of downs. I probably shouldn't use down that often. Oh, still learning, right? Still learning. MJW. Hitting some creeps right here. Well, he's still just farming. I mean, he's got 44 and 15, like, only beaten by the Sven. The Sven has basically a free lane, right? So, you would expect the Sven to be ahead. If the Sven wasn't ahead, that would be a very big surprise. But Razor being right on his tail, that is scary news. Very much so. And Alina is suffering so much. On the upside, Wolf is not supporting that Bristleback. Bristleback is not able to actually get that much farm. He died a second ago. 2 deaths at this point. Is simply not able to actually get that much money up here. And I think a big problem there is actually that Visage and Winter Wyvern dual support pick. They're trying to roam. They're trying to play that usual style of being aggressive and getting early ganks, you know, running around the map. But because they don't have that one strong roaming support, they need to use both of their supports, which abandons the Bristleback in lane, making it so he's killable, making it so that he's open. That's not great. And even with those dual roaming supports, they still just can't do enough damage. I mean, this is a pick I questioned from the very beginning. I thought this was a little bit weird, but you can really see the problem here. On the other side, you just have the Night Stalker who can go in and set up situations, and Shadow Shaman is down with the double raindrop, is down here making sure that the Sven is fine, and once he thinks the Sven is safe, he goes and helps Onion. On the other side, you know, Bristleback, look at how far out of the lane he is. Look at how terrified he is of this entire situation. We've got Mario, kind of in a little bit of a problematic spot. Formless now coming in. The Stormhammer connects. That should just be a quick kill. Oh, up into the air. He flies. He flies. Fly away, little bird. Fly away. The TP home. And he found his nest again. Smart play. Cool decision making. That's exactly what we need to do, right? Stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. Do it 300 like the Romans. You know, that's the kind of thing we need here. And, well, MJW still sitting in the mid lane. He's actually just using his ultimate to farm. Okay. I'm not sure why he's using his ultimate to farm. I mean, I guess impatience. He's not even getting the last hits. Come on, my man. You can't do that. If you're gonna use the ultimate to farm, you gotta make sure you get the last hits. Alright. I don't know. Maybe he thought he had an opportunity for a kill and that's why he went for it or something, but it just kind of looks a little bit funny. He has face boots now. He's looking pretty healthy. I mean, obviously. Lina catching up, though. I mean, in terms of last hits, at least. But that's the advantage of Lina, you know? Like, she's now level 9. She just gets to spam. But she doesn't actually need to be in lane last hitting anymore. She just spams her spells on a creep wave and that takes care of it. Generally a pretty good situation to be in. Papa Ganoush roaming into the top lane. They're definitely looking for another setup on the Bristleback. But I think they may be a little bit too confident now, you know. The two supports are definitely around. And while those two are around, I don't think there's any way you can actually kill this Bristleback. The Winter Wyvern alone would actually be enough for that. Which is exactly the problem, you know. Like, oh, this is kind of the weird situation that Wolf have put themselves in. They aren't properly utilizing that healing potential. They don't even have it skilled yet, right? Like, they are not keeping their Bristleback safe. Oscar now on the retreat. He should be fine. The Stormhammer comes out and Formless just activates his ultimate. He wants this Razor. One more click is gonna do it, but he took a moment too long. Took a little bit more damage as a result. Will still be able to get that kill though. And that's a very, very good thing for the Radiant side. Great news for them. Must be a huge relief to make sure that that Razor is not secretly getting out of hand. Because even though, yes, they are leading by a pretty significant amount there, just knowing that there's a Razor and he's slowly starting to get a little bit big, it's always scary, right? Because that is definitely a hero that can shut down a Sven. Absolutely, 100%. Casting the W on him, and maybe even getting a Heaven's Halberd, not an uncommon item on the hero. And MJW is just down here again. This is something I don't like from Wolf. I mean, they seem uncoordinated. I guess that could be because of the two subs they have, right? They do have some stand-ins right here. But you see this is how ME is going for those gangs. They are coming in, Onion scouting ahead, flying up into the air. He finds Mario. Mario goes into hiding. He's over here now, should be fine for the time being. Oscar is still around and they're just kind of looking, they're just scouting it out. And they drop that ultimate, the Shackles. Bristleback gonna be stunned as well. Do they have a Laguna Blade? Yes, they do, and that will be a double kill right there. Tower. Well, it's taking a lot of damage. Puck actually trapped, funnily enough. It's kind of amusing. But yeah, the Shadow Shaman ultimate is down as well. You know, they're just pushing now. This is a good gank, you know. Not only did it get them an advantage in terms of kills, you know, like they go ahead and shut down our Bristleback some more, but also get a tower out of it. That's a good situation to be in. What this Racer is doing is just running into a lane and hoping that somehow they'll get a kill and then go back into the mid or something. There's no coordination there. There's no proper plan. Right? You gotta have that kind of plan. You gotta have an idea on how to approach a situation like this. And it's just doesn't seem like they do. And I don't know. I know I keep going on about these picks right here, but these two birds have not been working. They have not been working at all. And I wonder if we'll ever see them work. Alright. I wonder if we'll ever get an opportunity to see their full potential. Lina working on her Bloodstone. She almost has it. Picking up that early Soul Ring just for farming. Always interesting what kind of talent build the Lina goes for, of course. Picking up the Light Strike Array. That is the more farming orientated style. The 125 cast range is better for fighting, honestly. Like, it's better to get that long range Light Strike Array and the longer range Laguna Blade than it is to get those 80 damage. But if you're trying to farm, then this is better. Right, because with this you can just double nuke a creep wave and basically kill it. Not quite, you don't quite have enough damage to do that. But close, right? So at this point you still have enough damage. But after, I believe, is it 20 minutes or is it 15? Something along those lines. You don't actually do enough damage anymore to properly take down a creep wave like that. So I think it's 20 minutes. I think it's after 20 minutes, right? And that does matter, right? 20 minutes isn't very deep into a game. So then at that point you need to hit each creep once and then you'll be able to burst it down. Onion. Oh, we found somebody. Gonna slice it and dice him and eat him like the onion that he is. He's gonna get revenge for all of his fallen brethrens. Or maybe he's just going to go ahead and take some creeps. And honestly, that seems a lot more reasonable. He is almost finished with his drums. Well, in fact, he pretty much is finished. He just needs to get the recipe floor. No, not the recipe. The Sage's Mask. And he'll be just fine. We've got a Stormhammer coming out, going in on the Razor. They drop two. Nope, one more ultimate. Actually, I guess the Sven does count, and they just take down the Razor. I mean, I don't know what he's doing down here. This is such a weird situation to be in. Now they just all come running in. Formless, standing strong. He's got an Echo Saber. I don't know if he's tanky enough for it, but they just walk in. They just walk in. Oh no, Bristleback, you don't need to hit him. What are you doing? You can see the panic right there, right? You saw that moment of him just like not knowing how exactly to deal with the situation. And the Puck then even finishes off the Underlord who was greedily farming those creeps. So this situation that really could have been pretty alright for Wolf ends up being a complete disaster yet again. Yeah, you can't do that, man. I mean, you have your quill spray. It's not like he even got to attack, right? He didn't get to attack the Sven. He just died for nothing. And that is very much unfortunate. Very much unfortunate. Onion. Hitting some creeps. He likes this top lane. This is his top lane. It's his favorite top lane. Oh, comes chasing him down. Oh, Mr. Popo gets a few attacks in. He does have that big W ready. It connects. It does quite a bit of hurt. And a few more quill sprays from... will end up getting that kill. I'm going to continue doing it like that until this man gets a proper name. Fuzzy Sloth. Oh, nice. They dropped that Winter Wyvern ultimate. It's actually kind of a problem for Wolf here. They don't have a stun. Like, at all. I guess they do have the not the Winter Wyvern. The Stone Form from the Familiars, right? From the Visage. And they have the Winter Wyvern ultimate. And that's it. Now, if your list of stuns involves Visage Birds and Winter Wyvern ultimate and nothing else, you do not have a stun. So Wolf does not have a stun. By the way, one thing I want to point out, I don't know why Vario isn't going for his E. It's so good against the Sven. It works against the Shadow Shaman more. It's like, why wouldn't you want that? Alright, we've got a stun connecting. Visage will just be burst down by Fuzzy Sloth before he gets to do much. Alright, Underlord ultimate trying to keep... and KGB safe. Can they kill the Bristleback before they get home? No, they cannot. Pretty close, actually. I mean, impressively close. I didn't think they were gonna get that close, but... yeah, so in the end, it's just one kill. It's decent enough, right? We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. In the meantime, at the bottom, Formulous blinks away nice and quick. And this guy's actually going for a very aggressive item build. I find that interesting to note. He's got a Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, Mask of Madness. That is not the kind of item build that is telling the enemy team, we're gonna take this to 70 minutes. Right, I'm gonna get 6 solid. No. He's saying, I'm gonna go ahead and get a bunch of items, go BKB, and then win the game. And I would not be surprised if the next item he goes for is that BKB, right? Yes, there's not a crazy amount of big spells you want to dodge on the dire side. But generally speaking, I think on Sven, BKB is pretty much a necessity anyway. Admittedly, there's really not a lot he can dodge, actually. There really isn't that much. It's still not gonna be a bad choice. That's how good BKB is on Sven. Right, like, that's the thing. Like, even though Wolf has, like, no spells that BKB works against, BKB is still a very good item this game. It's also gonna be useful in case there's ever gonna be Heaven's Halberd on the dire side, which you can very safely assume there will be. Bristleback should get one, or the Razor should get one. Right, definitely somebody should pick one up. They're gonna go ahead and kill Roshan. There's no response from Wolf because they just have no idea and there's nobody around. And even if they had somebody there, they would probably just get killed. So yeah, just picked up by Fuzzy Sloth. I'm sure ME is very happy about the way this game is going. A nice change from the last match, which didn't quite go into their favor. This one most definitely is. Fuzzy Sloth goes into the bottom lane, continues creeping it up, and I think that's definitely the right call. You know, if you're ahead, get a little bit ahead and then just go kill them. That should be the strategy here. So Sven has got 2200 gold. He could also go for just something that like goes hard, like crits. You know, I think at this point with a Sven, you either go really, really, really hard, or you just play it even safer. You know, like you just say, alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves some nice survivability in our BKB, making sure we use all of our items properly in every single fight, and we get as much done as we possibly can. And the Lord teleporting in. Of course, it takes literally forever because it's level 1. But he's still teleporting in, and he's here now. Sven is around, he's got an ultimate ready, and I think he wants to go for this. This is a bad idea. Well, he jumps in. 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3 attacks, 4 attacks, 5 attacks, and Sven gets the kill. Now tries to teleport home, and, well, Wolf has literally no stuns. Like, just can't stun him. So he gets home. That was still a bad idea, but that doesn't mean it can't work. And Formless did make it work. He slaughters the Underlord and ends up being fine. Okay, so that may sound a little bit weird, that concept. I feel like I want to discuss that really quick. But something can be a bad idea and still work. Right? So, Underlord going in right there. Terrible idea. He shouldn't do it. Not Underlord. Sven. Sven going in on the Underlord. Terrible idea. He shouldn't do that. In fact, he should have died right there, because Wolf actually had like 3 heroes there just a second ago, and he had no way to know that those heroes left. Right? That was just not something he was aware of. Oh, actually, Puck jumping in. He goes in on the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern goes down. Visage stunned up. The Laguna Blade just slaughters him. Roasted bird. Gonna be some nice chicken for dinner. Onion tries to add a little bit of spice into the mix, but Baba Goosh will go down first. They're gonna go ahead and try down the Razor. Razor does drop. The birds coming in from the sidelines. You know what? Let's go ahead and have a little bit of chicken with onion and a few more birds. Let's go ahead and add some crows into the mix. Fastislav tries to fight. He just doesn't have a lot of damage at the moment, but Formless, oh hell yeah, he does. He has all the damage in the world. Takes down the Bristleback. Underlord manages to escape though. The resurrection from Fussy taking a little bit too long. By the way, the Lena picking up a Shadow Blade at this point are pretty much what you would expect. You know, something along those lines, something that allows her to right click. A little bit of mobility is always nice as well. Oh, come on man. Well, yeah, the Quelling Blade around, so it's fine. Going for the BKB, so as I mentioned earlier, right there, BKB on Sven is so good. It's just like, yeah, okay, you guys have ways to like just bypass it, and really a lot of your abilities aren't affected by it at all. But I'm Sven. I buy BKB. That's what I do every single game. Now, Wolf is behind by a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a shit ton. And I understand that cursing is maybe not the best thing to do in a cast like this, but I just want to make absolutely clear that we are all aware by how far, or like about how far Wolf is behind here. And it is a shit ton. This is such an impossible game to come back in. Now, by impossible, I really mean just extremely difficult. It's definitely possible. The first step is Heaven's Halberd, and I'm really, really, really annoyed that isn't getting it, and that the Razor isn't going for it either. Yes, Dragon Lance is great. Sure, Hurricane Pike, absolutely fantastic item. That is not what you need here. You need that Heaven's Halberd. You need to be able to shut down that Sven. Right? And if you don't have that, he's got his BKB now. Like, he's just gonna be able to kill you. And good luck with your fancy Solar Crest then, right? It's just not going to be helpful. Oh well. So BKB is now available on Formless. He's also level 20. Picking up a little bit of evasion. Interesting choice. I think that's mostly just for pushing towers. I suppose he thinks he has enough attack speed as is. Lena level 18, so Laguna Blade is maxed out. Their damage output is through the roof. Baba Ganoush sitting on a Blink Dagger, or at least on enough money for it. We've got the Puck with the Yules, the Hand of Midas working on a Dagon. Find it interesting how Puck of all heroes is really the only one where Dagon is considered to be a viable choice, but it's good on a guy, you know. I don't know, I just find it kind of amusing, right? But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be nice here too. Like, as I mentioned earlier, ME is taking a very brute force approach to breaking through the tankiness of Wolf. it's working right now. Dagon is more of that. Sven coming in, activates the BKB. There we go. Win survive, and you skilled your E. It's just a little bit too late. The Laguna Blade does not care. Neither does the Sven about Mr. Popo's feeling. The Visage gets slaughtered. Put to the rest of the dessert. Because, God, we're gonna have some nice food after we're done with this. I don't know why I'm talking about food. Am I hungry? I don't think I'm hungry. I don't know. It's just a nice metaphor. Jumps in. Gets a little bit of damage done, but not too much. Really, the big thing right here is BKB being on cooldown. Sven ultimate is on cooldown. Wouldn't be too surprised if ME decides to just kind of take a little bit of a break right now. But nope, they dropped the Rasta ultimate. The wards are down. The Serpent wards dealing a lot of damage right here. Tower dropping pretty quickly, honestly. Like, they gotta do something about this. Fuzzy Sloth even sitting in the back, getting his hits in, and the tower does end up dying. So that exposes the shrines. That's a bit of a problem. Invisibility by Fuzzy Sloth. He's definitely playing it a bit risky, but, no, confident could be another term for it, I suppose. Sven, no, coming over here, and yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and take those shrines. Because why not? I mean, you can, right? You're in a great spot for this. The shrines are valuable. They'll get your team in further ahead. 26,000 net worth lead is quite solid, but hey, why not get to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000? Hell, let's break the world record. Let's go for 100,000. You know? Let's just keep this going. Let's keep snowballing. So we're gonna go ahead and take down this shrine right here. Roshan is not up. Roshan is gonna be up in just 30 seconds though. I think it's actually a pretty early respawn. Yeah, it's very early. So if ME wants to, they can definitely go for another kill right here. Why is Dota always zooming back in? Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like every once in a while, like, it's gonna zoom in again, because I'm usually like a little bit zoomed out. I just like doing that because it gives a better overview over what's happening. But Dota keeps scrolling back in, and it's really weird. Because I'm not doing that. It's just Dota deciding it wants to be back to its default point of view. They find Razor, and really by find Razor, I mean the Razor turns that around very easily and is now gonna go ahead and TP home. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Night Stalker, I know you guys are on a good spot, and honestly, you're pretty powerful. But you cannot just solo kill that Razor, don't be ridiculous. Up here we've got Oscar, hiding in the trees. Seems he went for some sort of aggressive play, just kind of getting a little bit of damage done, but TP's home, back to safety. Dagon 2 is now ready. Again, more of that just breaking potential. Just saying, no, we're gonna get through this. We're going to just target down your tankiness, ignore it, kill you anyway. Gonna be a hood on that Bristleback. Silver Edge on the Lina, by the way, I find interesting. Silver Edge, of course, is great against the Bristleback. And that's probably why. Right? Like, honestly, it's probably that simple. Mr. Baba got a goosh. Goes there, gets a little bit of damage in on that bird before he dies, but Lina, she doesn't care about this. She just finishes up the rest of them. That's 2 down. In the meantime, Onion solo pushing, split pushing with that support Night Stalker. I mean, that just tells you how bad of a spot this is for Wolf. Fuzzy Sloth simply running in, starts working on the top barracks. Not too interested in any of the other lanes. The Bristleback is here. Slows her down. Forced to retreat. It's definitely also doing something quite risky here. But the BKB is used. The Lina breaks the Bristle. He's taking a lot of damage. But she decides, you know what, I don't care about the Bristle. I want the barracks. And she gets the barracks in the meantime. Bottom barracks going down as well. Mid barracks too. The Radiant isn't going for a lane of barracks here. They're going for all lanes of barracks at the same time. That is disgusting, my friends. Do you not have any shame? The Sven jumps in a few right clicks later. The GG is called. Would have been really nice if they had called GG right there. But hey, they're still gonna call GG. There we go. ME absolutely destroys Wolf. That was just completely dominant. 40,000 net worth lead at the end of that. I mean, that's just... that wasn't even close. Not even a little bit. And Mindseyes ends up taking it. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. that will be the last game for me, because it is now 2:30 in the morning. I promise I'm usually better at casting than this, but I just jumped in when I was asked. So I will now go ahead and go to sleep, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wait, not tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna see you guys tomorrow. I'm so used to saying that. I'm really used to saying that. I make a lot of Dota content. So if you watch that Dota content, I'll see you tomorrow. If you don't, and this is the first time you've heard me, I won't see you tomorrow. But I hope you have a good day anyway. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this image back on the screen, and then clear up how I go about leaving this stream.